Hey y'all. I know it's been some time. It's been like 2 weeks. It hasn't been that long. Okay. As I'm recording this, it's 4:44 on the timer right now, and it says Queen. Somebody from on Snapchat, and her name is Queen, and she said something, but all I see is Queen and 4:44. Anyway, hey y'all. I needed to take a break. I just needed to just be with myself and take in some pleasure. Um, I've been enjoying quite a bit of pleasure. If you're members over on Patreon, you already know I share my most sacred insight and wisdom and rituals over on Patreon. So, um, you know what I'm talking about when I say I've been enjoying pleasure. Okay, my birthday just passed, May 14th. I'm officially 41. Yes, 41. And I posted on the community tab about a week ago how there were some parts of me that I noticed have been off. For those of you that know, if you got your copy of Activate, you already know the journey that I've been on. And what I talk about and what I write, what I share here on YouTube, what I share over on Patreon, I only share things because I've been through them myself. And for those of you that know, you read the book, you've been on this journey with me for some time, you know that I came through the dark night of the Odyssey, baby, a plethora of them. They were back to back to back in my life. And over the course of 2017, 18, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, I had to count, basically 10 years, I've been on this constant ride, right, of dying and being reborn, healing, breaking generational curses, being on Dark Night of the Souls after Dark Night of the Soul journeys, writing a book and doing speaking events, and from working to being unemployed to being on unemployment, being on food stamps, to stuff that was going on in my family, just stuff that y'all read about in the book, and I starting YouTube and creating YouTube, and then beginning memberships last year, and beginning, taking one-on-one clients last year as well, to taking another at-home job, and then becoming a flight attendant. Like, it's been this course of 10 years in my personal and professional life where I haven't had a fucking break. Okay. And being unemployed is not having a break. Being unemployed means you are stressed the fuck out about money. The video cut off. So I guess that means the universe wants me to get right to it. So as I was saying previously, being unemployed doesn't mean you don't have any problem. You have, obviously, you got money problems. And so I said all that to say, I haven't taken the time to really pull away. And the gaps of time that I've taken weren't enough for the shit that I've been through, for the shit that I went through. Just like for many of you, taking a weekend or taking a day ain't a fucking enough. It's something, it's better than nothing, but it's not enough for the divine feminines that's been on this type of journey of turning pain into power, for being on the journey of the dark night of the soul odyssey, of coming out of shit that was meant to kill you, keep you stuck, stagnant, broken out even. Hear what I'm saying? Okay, taking a day or a weekend ain't enough for the work that you had to do to break generational curses, right? To heal from generational traumas, to alchemize and heal from the spell work that was thrown towards you to keep you stuck, to keep you broke, to keep you brokenhearted. The spell work that was thrown at you to destiny swap with you, to try to steal your destiny, to try to steal your gifts, your talents, your skills, your abilities, to even try to steal your beauty. Yeah. Right. So, over the course of 10 years, I've only taken gaps of time, right? A week here, a day here, a moment here, but it just hasn't been enough to fully, there's a difference between rest and recovery. And I don't feel like I fully recovered from the 10 years of the shit that I was going through. And so my body is showing me that. It's communicating that to me. And that's why I created members only. That's why I created the Come membership. This is why I created tuning into your sensual energy to heal, tuning into your body to remember your power and your purpose. The shit that I talk about with y'all, I only am able to share with you because I'm on the same journey. And so, with turning 40, there was just, it wasn't revelations because I already knew them, but I decided to take the time to not, record any videos, to not, I did some things for Patreon, but I just needed the time. And the time that I needed wasn't just about healing, because that's a journey that's always happening, right? We're always on a journey to make sure that we are the healed, watching over our health. I don't want to always talk about healing, because that means we're always going through shit and having to heal from it. No, we're done with that language. This is about being healed and watching over our health. So that wasn't what I was focused on, is really healing. What I was focused on is enjoying the fruit of my health. So enjoying the fruits of my health for me has meant enjoying pleasure, allowing myself to rest, allowing myself to be taken care of. I have taken the time to enjoy an amazing divine masculine who has come into my life, an amazing man. Okay. And when I say amazing, I mean, I can't share I'm not going to share all the details here on YouTube. Come over on Patreon for the deep dives. For those of you who are members over on Patreon, shouts out to my members, shouts out to my initiates. The insight that I share over there as far as allowing pleasure in. And so me turning 41 has been a testament to that. It's been allowing myself to enjoy the pleasure that I've manifested, that I've attracted, that I've cultivated into my life, allowing myself to enjoy the pleasure that I had to die and be reborn for, that I had to go through shit for, that I had to alchemize pain into power for. I am allowing myself to enjoy the pleasure. And so 41 has taught me to receive. In the new year, a friend guy of mine who lives in Tennessee, he says that he comes up with a word every year that's going to be his word for the year, and that's the thing he's going to focus on. And so his word was network. He wanted to network. He works in real estate, and so that was his focus. I want to network. He wanted to be a networking individual. And I remember feeling exhausted hearing him say that, because I was the girl that been there and done that. For those of you that know, I'm an award-winning journalist. I worked in media. I worked in radio. I did the whole thing. I was always networking, and people was always in my face, and I was in people's. That sounded exhausting to me, and that's not a world, or a thing I ever want to go back to. So that was his word for the year. And so he said, "What's your word?" And I said, "I don't know. I never really thought about it." But when we got off the phone, I thought about it, and I texted him, because it just came into my spirit. It came into my spirit, and that word was to receive. And when I tell you, me saying that word has been that has been the heartbeat of what my year has been so far. As soon as I put it out there in the atmosphere, the universe was like, okay, receive it is. But allowing myself to receive, me turning 41, I realized I wasn't allowing myself to truly receive. Even putting out the last video I put out on the honey siren, I realized, let me tune in and tap into the honey siren more. Like me, many of you can fluidly move through all of the sirens. And so now I am in my honey siren era and energy. Okay. So I am in my honey siren energy. I am choosing to be in my honey siren energy. If you don't know or are not familiar with the honey siren energy, go back and listen to the last upload. It's called Honey Siren. Okay. The energy that takes you from, I think it's from survival to receiving, something of that effect. You'll see it. You can't miss it. Once you see the thumbnail, you know it's all about honey, right? I'm in my honey siren energy. And this energy has taught me how to receive, right? Once you awaken these sirens within you, they will guide your decisions. And if you're not making the decisions that siren wants you to make, you will feel the negative effects of it happening in your body. You will feel yourself you will feel the suffering from not answering the callings that you're supposed to answer as the divine feminine. Okay. For me, when I put out there into the universe that I choose to receive, the honey siren activated in me, because the honey siren receives, right? She is the sweetness of life. She is the nectar, right? Honey siren is also the queen bee. Hey, by the way, for those of you that don't know me, welcome to Alcheminity. Because turning pain into power, power to pleasure, pleasure to purpose is sexy. I'm your host and creator of this colony and the many colonies and the many sanctuaries and sensual temples we're building around our globe. I am your queen bee, Miss Burgess. If you're nasty, only makes sense that I would be in the honey siren energy as your queen bee here on Alcheminity, right? And so I'm in the receiving era. And so I took this time to not do YouTube videos. As a matter of fact, I told myself, I'm not going to focus on algorithm stuff. Fuck all that. I'm not doing that anymore. That was Lilith talking, by the way. Lilith said, fuck all that, right? I'm not focused on the algorithm. I'm not focused on I got to put out a certain amount of videos a day. And I got over that a while back, but now I'm really implementing that as my mental health practice, as my well-being practice. When I feel guided to share information with y'all, that's when I'll do it, and that's when you'll get it. Now, if you're a member over on Patreon, you get it consistently there. Why? Because you're investing in your activation. You're investing in your power. You're investing in your purpose. You are investing in remembering who you are. You are investing in alchemizing pain to power, power to pleasure, pleasure to purpose through your yoni, through your pussy. You are investing. And I respect those that invest in themselves because I've had to invest in myself. All the information that I give here on YouTube has been free game, has been free wisdom. And I don't mind giving in this light. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it since 2018, right? So if you're a member over on Patreon, you get it consistently because you're investing in yourself, and I respect you for investing in yourself. Okay. So being in my honey siren energy has taught me to receive, and what I have been receiving has been the counterparts of everything I talk about. How I say pain to power, I've been receiving the power. How I say power to pleasure, I've been receiving the pleasure. How I say pleasure to purpose, I've been in the purpose. I've been in the power, the pleasure, and the purpose. I have been receiving the power, the pleasure, and the purpose in more ways than one. I've been allowing myself to enjoy pleasure in more ways than one. For those of you divine feminines who are members over on Patreon, there's going to be an extended version to this over on Patreon where we talk about receiving pleasure. When you activate, okay, when you activate your sirens, when you do the work in your yoni and your pussy and you raise that energy up, when you remember who you are, when you remember your spiritual gifts and abilities, your talents, your skills, and you bring all that stuff online, you're now in the forefront to be seen, to be enjoyed, to be heard, to be felt. The pleasure activates. You receive pleasure in more ways than one. And for those of you who are members over on Patreon, you know that I teach sacred self-touch or sensate focused touch, where we connect to our bodies through touching ourselves, connecting to our bodies. When you get to this level of the honey siren energy and you start receiving, because when you're receiving, that means there are outer sources that are coming to you, people, places, and things, okay? When you start allowing yourself to receive at this level, there are going to be people that you attract, places, opportunities that you attract that are going to want to give you what you're giving you. So when I say that I've been allowing myself to receive pleasure, an amazing energy has come in and has been given me what I give me or would give me times 10. We'll talk about that more over on Patreon. The next video that's going to be coming out is we're going to be talking about the charm siren for those of you that got your copy of the erotic siren call. Okay. Yeah, the charmed siren is next, right? For those of you who know that your calling is to be in the public eye, that your purpose is to be in the public eye as a speaker, singer, orator, you need to activate that throat chakra. Let me see what that throat do. Okay. That's what your divine masculine is going to be saying when they come. Let me see what that throat do. As a matter of fact, he's going to show you what his does. Become a member over on Patreon. Anyway, so I just want to check in with y'all, let you know where I've been. I've been in receiving mode. I've been in enjoying and receiving pleasure. It's been yummy. It's been delicious. Become a member over on Patreon for more insight. All right. For those of you who are ready to work one-on-one with me and activating your signature siren And then email me. I have responded to a couple of your emails. Those of you who have reached out to me to work one-on-one, you know that your calling is in the public eye. You've emailed me. I'm proud of you for taking the first step as it relates to your power and your purpose and your beauty and your pussy. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Applause are in order for you. I know it's not easy taking that first step. I know it's not easy taking that first step into something that is considered so taboo and unorthodox and frowned upon in some ways, and erotic and sexy and yummy and delicious. I know some of my first clients were so afraid to show up in their erotic selves, to show up in their sexy selves, because people were used to seeing them, the overly humbled, hiding their body and their face. And when I say hiding their body, I don't mean you coming out with your titties and your ass out. That's not what I teach either. That ain't it either. But they were so afraid to give up the good girl image, right? They were so afraid. When I say give up the good girl image, meaning it's a facade, giving up the good girl facade or the mask. They were so afraid to show people that not only were they the cute girl next door, but that they were also the sexy, erotic dominatrix behind closed doors. They were also that next door. I'm just saying, right? When you activate and truly in who you truly are and what you are, you will begin to attract the people, places, and things that respect that, honor that, worship that, praise that. They will worship you. They will get down on their knees and kiss your feet because they see not only the power that you possess, but the authentic, raw prowess that most are afraid to ever activate or unleash. People respect people who have the guts to do what they're afraid to do. And as far as divine masculines in your divine tribe, they respect it because they know the type of work it takes to step out fully into that, because they know the scrutiny that you'll receive. People respect and honor that. So again, for those of you that know your callings in the public eye, you need to activate your siren, because your siren is the one that helps you get on that stage and do what you need to do. Email me. In the meantime, become a member over on Patreon. We're going to be doing the deep extended dive on the charmed siren there. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Ciao.